So I came up with a great idea for those that are still dating, um, in that early stage before you get engaged, before you get married, just to have these conversations. So I made a chart here and I wrote down a list of things to provoke conversation. But for the sole purpose of trying to gather information about where they are behaviorally and thoughtfully concerning these few topics. So you would have to make sure that you get a large enough piece of paper and use enough space to write the title. Here I have name of the person of interest, and no, what you're about to see is not the best handwriting, and I came up with it today. So I'm sure there's something already out there, but if this works for you, go ahead and use this and continue to be filling in each block as you go along through the days, through conversations that you gather or that you have with your person of interest. So I have here the name of the person of interest, and I wrote three like columns. No, four columns. And so you're going to have underneath the person of interest, you're going to write down all of these things that I'm going to, all of these topics. And then I put um, past, present, and future, but I separated the past column into two, from just from 10 to 20 years and then 15 to 20 years. With the present, I did 20 to 30 years, which I feel should. I didn't break that up any further, but maybe just because I'm 35, and so I felt like this would be the present for some. For some, so this may not work for you if you're over 40, or you just shift the times. You'll just shift the duration from the blocks of time that you're using to demarc um, as past, present, and future. And so with future, I put 40 to 50, and then I put 50 to 60 at the end. And my reason for doing these time periods is so that you can be specific, or just get information from that time frame from the person that you're talking to. So you can ask, if you asking them, hey, is there anything that happened in your childhood that had anything to do with any of these topics? They may name one or two. But if you ask, what about anything between 10 and 20 years old? Did anything happen from any of these topics? They'll be able to maybe find a share two different episodes or two different experiences concerning this topic. And so you'll have more information to gather from them, and what you're using to, what you're going to do with that information is to discern what how compatible you are, how compatible you would be with this person. So on the side, I put serving others freely. So I put helping, preventing, and giving freely. So if you gave someone a ride every day to school or weekly, or if you were able to prevent someone from having to spend some money by giving barbing their hair, or if you were able to share the latest places on where a food pantry was giving out free food, or you were able to give them, you were constantly giving out free information on how someone could start a business that could generate $100. I don't know. Just if you were serving others by always being a lending ear. If you were serving, if that person that you're talking to, the person of interest, ever shared any information that they were able to serve others freely, like volunteering, then jot that. And oh, it was when I was in high school. So that would be right here in 10 to 20 years old. Oh, not 10 to 20. Look at that. I just realized that this says 10 to 20, and then I put 15 to 20. So I changed my mind and put 15 to 20. So there would be 10 to 15 and then 15 to 20 years old. And then um, and then just see if they currently, as an adult, have made any moves, any choices that stem from servitude. And then financial responsibility. Just have they managed money? Like with their paycheck, were they living paycheck to paycheck while they were in high school? And they had no bills, but they always ran out of money before their next paycheck. Genuine, honest response and accountability, servicing yourself or others. So I wanted to title this section Maturity, but instead I titled it Genuine, Honest Response and Accountability. Um, so serving yourself or others, um, servicing yourself or others. And so this would be different from serving others because I feel like maturity is a spectrum, and on that spectrum you'll be able to hear from the person sharing any genuine honest response of accountability. So asking them about any event that that has gone that went, like something that you planned to do and then that plan went south, or any thing that you were involved in, and how did that go about. Just ask about any plans as far as like going on a camping trip, or we decided, me and my friend, we were gonna wake up one day and go to Six Flags or go to the club that night, and just hear how they narrate that story as far as like their accountability and responsibility. Now, what you're listening for is their contribution to the the totality of the experience. And I don't want to say like the, yeah, to the outcome, their accountability of the total experience, but servicing themselves or others. Now, if they don't have if they don't value honesty, or they're not there with honesty, then how they narrate the story could vary from the truth. So ask what they've done as far like any plans to concerning other people, and also for themselves, just to hear if they have any. You've never had a I'm laughing, but there are plenty of people that have never the just ingenuity is just not a characteristic that they have, and a thought internally that could bless yourself, that could drive you to do more, that could inspire you to look around and see where you are is okay, but you would like to do better. So many people just don't have that thought, and so this area would be blank. Um, I have any educating activity. I wanted to put education, but sometimes a lot of people just kind of go with the flow. And so if you're hanging around people that are in um, middle school, high school, college, even going and pursuing a postgraduate degree, is really because you're hanging around with a lot of people. But um, if you were apart from that community, um, what would you do? And so, if educating activity, if there's any way that you can gather any courses that they took, any kind of, I taught myself how to speak Spanish, I taught myself how to sign, I taught myself how to code, I taught myself how to sell books online. I don't know, just that's an entrepreneurial spirit. But if there's anything that they taught themselves, how to cook, how to braid hair, how to barb hair, how to mow lawns, just so I can if there's anything that you pursued, if you didn't teach it yourself, but you went, that person went and did something like that, that would have been an indication of their character and their personality, how they think. Spiritual, I put just spiritual, but I put here any obligations, commitments, or responsibilities. Now, if they did attend church, the next, I have another list here about prayer, worship, and fasting, because I felt like someone as the same thing that you can do with school is the same thing you can do with church. If you're around a community that is really involved in attending church and just doing something related to God, you can get mixed in with that, but not really find who you are as far as like your stance on praise and worship and fasting and confession or whichever. So if this may get you some check marks here in their past, present, or future. They, as far as like, do they have any spiritual obligations, commitments, or responsibilities? Because you'll catch the church and reading the Word of God and things like that. But what have they decided in the privacy of their own home, in the privacy and the intimacy of their own thoughts? Have they actually come to know what confessing is, what prayer, or done any fasting or any personal worship in their home, or any godly goals? That would be a great way to pose the question, and then just silently listen to them so that they can share with you what they do in the privacy of their own relationship with God, if that's something they don't have a stance on, like not sharing, if that's something that they feel comfortable with sharing. So who knows, they may say, they may have a lot and then just be like, I don't want to share. So and then that's something as well. So physical commitment, if they just value exercise, or they value not so much exercise but eating healthy, so that's something to I've, like they've never been to the gym but they love rock climbing. That's something to keep in mind, or to check off here. A next topic is community. Just, I mean, that's saying you are who you hang around with, and your birds of a feather flock together. I'm sure there's some similar scripture like that, but just hear from the identity of their friends, family, neighbors, and influences, and just ask who's in your heart, and who do you go to to pray on you? Who do you go to because you know you can count on them just to cheer you up, or just to be present, just to be silent, but to be there. Ask about any trauma, definitely. Where do you think you've healed? Where do you think that you haven't addressed and neglecting? And where do you think you could grow? I talked about this one. Health. Some people really just think that all the diseases, all the medical issues that their family members are having are just something that their family members are having. So ask them what their family members are having, just genetically, what is a part of their heritage medically, like health-wise. And then ask what their personal plans and motivations are toward that truth. 7 members of your family don't have... I'm gonna laugh, but I'm not gonna finish that. Just how are you actively moving against that becoming your own reality? Goals and aspirations. Literally ask, what would you like to be doing, and where do you see yourself? And that's such a great indicator of what this person's motivation is. Why are they doing what they're doing? Because of the end goal. And then ask, how do you plan to do that? And would I be a deterrent, or would the relationship with me be a contribution toward that goal? And who their hero idols are. Look at this pen, barely had any ink. The pen was like, leave me alone. This says idols. If anyone can read chicken scratch, this will be clear to you. But here, who their heroes are, who they I really didn't like the word idols. It's just um the Bible just really looks down on that word, but just who do they really look up to and would like to emulate? That's such a great indicator of what their values are. Now, their behavior today, their time management today, their effort and energy and mindset today may not be congruent with the goals of their hero or their who they idol. uh, and so ask that. I mean, but they may be oblivious to that. But ask that. They may be in the beginning stages. So that'd be a great. I think that this total chart here. I just need to go back 10 years in time, 10 years ago, and then just get this filled out, and then just continue to um, have conversations, but from the conversations, gather more of an identity and see where this person, they may just continue to lie. But when you are looking for congruence, then it is the incongruence that will speak louder if the person is lying. That's some people do hear where your heart is. They hear what you encourage, and they want to continue to um, be liked by you. And so they'll literally deny who they really are and just say, oh, I like this is and I like that, or I can do that. But if they're not doing anything that in their actual personal time, in their leisure time, that matches up with that, it's going to show. So this isn't math. It's not this. What shows out on here equals to this kind of person, but gather from this information that can help you to understand who you are talking to, and understand yourself as well. Because if you are hearing from this person share who they are, and you're not able to discern, you don't understand the severity of the information that's being shared to you, that also is a reflection of your ignorance. That's also a reflection of of where you are in terms of maturity. It's very youth. It's the younger people that feel like they have nothing to lose, that aren't focused and determined toward a goal, that can get swept away by someone that says literally nothing to them. It's just swept off their feet. But those that have a standard and those that have a goal, a defined goal, they can't be. It's harder for them to be knocked off of their stands, knocked out of the path that's leading them to where they're trying to go. Well, again, this is Healing Empowered, and I am thankful for you watching this video. Go ahead and like, and definitely comment what you think about this chart that I made up today, that it's legible. It's legible. I read it out to you. But thank you for watching. Hope to see you in my next videos. Bye.